I don't propose to spend too much time in these videos demonstrating the in-depth practicalities of making circuits. I want mainly to concentrate on design. There are hundreds of existing videos on YouTube which demonstrate the use of instruments like oscilloscopes and multimeters, and also the various techniques for building circuits. However, this is an appropriate time for a brief overview of the equipment you might find in a typical lab. The most basic item of equipment in any electronics lab, and the minimum needed if you're a hobbyist in electronics, is a multimeter. This instrument has three basic functions. It can act as a voltmeter or an ammeter, or to measure resistance, an ohmmeter. Many modern ones also have many extra useful functions built in. For example, frequency readings, device testers for testing devices like diodes and transistors, and even some simple oscilloscope type features. All professional design labs, even the most basic, and also those of more serious hobbyists or amateurs, also have two further instruments. The first of these is a signal generator. This is simply a variable frequency oscillator, usually capable of generating at least sine waves and square waves. These signals can be used as the input to your prototype circuits to test performance, with the outputs from a circuit being monitored by an oscilloscope or a multimeter. The second main test instrument in a professional lab is an oscilloscope. This allows us to view waveforms on a screen and to measure their amplitude and their frequency. Oscilloscopes can generally monitor two signals at the same time. We say that these are present on channels A and B, or channels 1 and 2. There are two main controls on all oscilloscopes. The first of these is called the time base, and this controls how the frequency of a signal is displayed on the screen. The other control is called the sensitivity, and controls the display of the amplitude on the screen. Because the oscilloscope has two inputs, it has two sensitivity controls in general. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I don't intend to discuss oscilloscope use in detail because there are plenty of videos describing this available on YouTube. The general use as a test instrument for a two-port circuit is shown on the screen. More advanced development laboratories also have other instruments. For example, a spectrum analyzer to display the frequency spectrum of signals, and network analyzers to measure the input and output impedances of circuits. I may mention some of these other instruments as we go through the course at the appropriate time.